Okay guys, just rained like crazy last night, 1/4 inch, and the problem is I have this nice IBC tank. That's a big one. It's the 325 gallon one, I believe, hooked up to the gutter. Problem is it's full and it's been overflowing for the last several rainstorms. I don't know what to do with the water. This is in the front of the house. What I have to do is get it all the way up the backyard. It's coming off the gutter from the roof, which is a huge surface area, so it can fill up quickly. And I want to be able to use it in my hydroponic bins. I've already got some tubing down there because I was playing around before with irrigating some of these plants along the fence here, but now that I've got hydroponics here, the tubing has just kind of sat there and done nothing. But there it is down there. You can kind of see it still coming. Comes all the way along we have these long, narrow yards, being in the city environment here. And then it kind of comes on up the fence. Yeah, this tube was hooked into a drip irrigation line, but now it kind of comes around my shed here, my garden shed. And it goes up into this, and I've got this pallet here to block the light so he doesn't get algae in that tank, but there's an IBC tote back here. It's a smaller one. I think it's a 275er. And I've been trying to collect water off this shed roof on this side, but it's tough. I'm gonna move this so you can see how much we got. That's a 1/4 inch rain. That's not much, is it? Back around, show you how we're gonna try to hook this up. So here's kind of that drip irrigation again, coming down from these trees, these raspberry bushes. So I'd like to be able to drip irrigate all the way down here, maybe even find some solution to hook into those bins so I can just water with rainwater. Wouldn't that be nice? Got this drip irrigation thing here. The timer coming from that bin, that smaller bin I just showed you. I put cardboard here because it gets so muddy if I don't. But I was curious if these little pumps here, that we've been using, have the power to pull water up high. So I've got it, what is that, about at least 12 feet up there, right? From the ground. Can you see that Hmax? 300 centimeters height. That's the pressure that comes out of the head, the white tube. But when I put the smaller diameter tube, since the outtake is a little bit wider, and make it narrower with some of this, again, famous tubing we bought last time, all sorts of adapters can be made. And I'm going to see if I can get it to go all the way up this white tubing, which I would say there's at least, I don't know, maybe 20 feet left, maybe 15. And I'm taking it way the heck up there. I can't even reach up there. It's way up there. So I had to get a ladder to get it up there. So we're going to hook in some power. This goes to my 12-volt battery. Got it hooked in. It's drawing water. I can hear it. And now it's coming up these tubes. And let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. This actually has a pretty decent flow. Look at that. So I'm not going crazy. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, a good 12 feet, I would say. Now, if I could get that kind of flow, I have a hill here. So this is the high part of the yard, and you see I go all the way down. I'm guessing it's at least 12 feet, maybe even higher of a grade I have to go up. So I'm going to try using a little pump like this. This one I know works, 12 volts. The only problem when you put it on the solar panels I have, they're 18 volts, so I usually put them in series, so I only draw 9 each. I haven't tried that yet, to see if 9 volts is enough to get this kind of flow. The other idea is to try a fountain pump, so let's hook that up and see if we can get I think there's 7 watt fountain pump. Might do the trick. Okay, here's that fountain pump. We've used this, it's actually in operation. I took it off its little pedestal here because I was getting it ready here. And we had a 1/4 inch rain last night. As I mentioned, we didn't really fill up my IBC tote up there, unfortunately, but it really didn't flood my tanks either. Remember, I flipped my lids. That's one of our videos. Flip your lids. Keep the rain water out. So let's unhook it. The Venturi here. Had a little Venturi going for this big tomato. It liked it. I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to take this and bring it up to the shed. Depends on the sun, right? That's not much head pressure. I might have to play around, but my goal is to just have it facing south. Let's see if we can get that to go up this white tubing. I just took this pump off, so we'll compare them. Guys, bad news. It's not doing it. I'm up here looking at it. It's just not doing it. Spin that a little bit more. I don't know. I really wish it would work because it'd be a all-in-one easy piece of cake unit. But I think that pump is just not strong enough with that panel on it. Let me bring this down and see if I can get any movement of water. So it does work if it were ground level. Let's try to bring it at least 5 feet up around my nose or so and just see here if we can get it to work. I better start down here about 3 feet. How we do it right here and just see if we can get it to. Oh wow, here we go. So we know we can get 3 feet. How about 4 feet? It's just not very strong, is it? These are weak. That's just not going to fill up that IBC tote, is it? I was hoping we could get at least a little trickle stream. Let me bring it down to 3 feet here, waist level. It'll eventually start coming, I believe. But I would say, you know, come on guys. Here it is. 2 feet. It's just, the lift is just not there. Let's go back to our trusty dandy standard 12 volt pumps here, but we got them in series. They're rated at 18 volts. Remember that? So we want to just see if 18 volts is enough to really dry these babies. Get out of the sun there, get in the sun best we can. And I'm going to hook the tubing up to one of those and just see if we can lift it with the single pump. Like I said, I know these are much stronger. Here, let's just show you the lift. Quite a bit more powerful. Well, so far, no luck. It's just a little too high for this single pump at 9 volts. Remember when it was on 12 volts, it was working fine. So let me do a voltage check. That's kind of bizarre. 12. Red of the solar with the black lead there. Over to the midpoint connector between the two in series here. Let me switch it now to the opposite way. Okay, now I'm getting 6 from the other one in series, so that is weird. I'm getting 18 then, or close to 18. 6 and 12, huh? I wonder which one's putting out the heavy duty lift. Let's see. Let me switch the tubing and change pumps and see if we start getting it coming out the top. There's still nothing out the top up there. I wonder why it's not equally distributing the two. Well, one pump wants 12 and it says, hey bud, I'm rated 12. You get what's left over, you get the 6. That's kind of weird. Now there's that total voltage when I put it across both leads from the panels. And here's the one side. And here's the other pump. Isn't that odd how they don't split it? I must have done something right. I switched it from this pump that had the alcohol bottle cap on the bottom to this one. This must be the 12 volt pump. And bam, look what happened. It's coming out. Way the heck up there. Isn't that odd? I have a problem here. The pumps are not equally balanced. Probably because the loads are different. One has no load, so it's saying, hey, I don't need much. I got 6 volts, I'll be fine. And the other has a tremendous load, trying to get water all the way up there. And it says, I'm taking everything you got. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of amp draw is on that. We're getting 0.2 amps of current. Here we go. It works. It's not very strong, but it's working. And it's dripping right back into the barrel, which is kind of cool. So will that fill an IBC tote? That little bit fill an IBC tote? I don't know. Huh. I wonder if I get this better in the sun, if I can get just a little bit more out of it. Pretty weak, guys. I have a stronger panel I could try it on, but I really don't want 2 pumps on it. I only want 1 pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to try to see if I can run this at 18 volts. All right, we have it now hooked up. Just a single pump. So let's try it out. I might burn my pump out, but how do we know if we never try, right? That's about the best I can get it. Yeah, that's a very good flow. If I had that going to the IBC tote, it would definitely fill up. See how many amps we're pulling. Okay, here we are. It's back on. I'm just kind of holding it here. And it's not taking that much, really. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ooh. So we're getting about 14 right now. I thought for sure it would take 18 to 22 volts. But if that panel's only giving it 14, we'll take it. I think that's going to be a lot safer on a single pump. Okay, so the reason I was drawing 15 is because it was partially shaded. So, you know, these can probably get up to 18, even 19 in the direct sun. Some part of the day it'll be at 16. Sometimes it'll be at 18. Sometimes it'll be at 12, depending on how high in the sky and how perfectly lined up you are with the sun. So, can this little pump down here handle 18 volts? That's probably what we'll get up to at the peak of the sun if it's directly lined up. That's the question. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with it this season, and if it burns out after 3 weeks or so, I'll know. It's just a good experiment. So let's have some fun and see if it works. Hard to believe a little pump like that can raise the water that high with just a little tiny solar panel, a cheap solar panel. Let me show you in the next video here what we're dealing with, why we're trying to get this so high up the head, up this tube. And then I'll draw a schematic to try to explain it all. Okay, hope you are not drowned out by all the outdoor noises, but I'm going to try to get the pump into this spin, which is collecting water off the gutter from the entire roof of the house, pretty much, or at least the side of the house, the majority of the house on the west side, and I have to somehow get the water from the pump up that white tubing up to some place very high, so that the water persists in this line all the way back there, and then up around the hill, behind the fence, up the hill, into that smaller IBC tote. So that's kind of the plan. That's why we need to get it so high. And like I said, I'll draw a little schematic so you kind of understand better.